Hey guys, Angel with GetBetterAmerica.com, looking for ways to help you get better. 10 tips for single parents. I think most people would actually benefit from most of these things, but if you're a single parent, whether now or in the future, I think you'll benefit tremendously from this list that I made. I myself am 36 years old right now. I have one daughter. Um, for almost 8 years, we lived in separate cities, which is very difficult, but she lives in the same city as I do now. And she's about to be 15 years old, and she is in high school. And I've been single for a pretty long time now. Not TMI, but it's been more than 3 years. I'll just say that. So I made this list to share with you guys the different things that I've done that have really helped me in my being a single parent life per se. Do have airplanes passing over. One of the disadvantages of making videos outside, but anyway, so hopefully not too many. I just personally don't like editing my videos. I like leaving them raw and uncut so you can see everything. All right, so here we go. Tip number one, I'm going to make a separate video on this called Why I Love My Gym Bag. But tip number one is to have a fully equipped gym bag. Have a spare change of clothes in there. Have some extra supplements in there. I have B12 and coffee shots in mine, just as an example. A couple water bottles, all those different things. Have a good gym bag so that way when you're going around, even if you don't belong to a gym, you never know. Maybe you're out and about it, you have it in your car, and you're like, oh man, today's a nice day for a run or some extra this, that, or the third, or I want to go hiking or whatever. Get out and be active and have a good gym bag for you. It's been a lifesaver for me so many times, and I will make a separate video on that. Should be very helpful. Tip number two, this one's going to sound kind of funny, but it works extremely well. Long story short, I had a really bad breakup while I was in Austin, Texas still. My daughter was about 6 at the time, or say, get more or less, per se, and I found myself a lot more busy. And I have always not loved doing laundry. So what I've done for the last 10 years is I've always had a minimum of 2 weeks worth of outfits, and especially no less than 15 total pairs of underwear and socks. No less than 15 pairs. I probably have closer to 20 or 25. But yeah, having lots of clothes, stack it up and you just knock out your laundry every 2 weeks, give or take, for about 3 hours, more or less. And yeah, that has worked extremely well for me. So anyway, got another airplane going on. If you might be thinking, why not wait for a better time or a better day? Consider this. In order to get things done, you need to do them. And I have found that principle very true in my life. If you don't do things, they don't get done. So do things and move on. Don't wait for perfect timing, because perfect timing rarely comes. All right, tip number three. And here's another funny one. I think the guys will especially like this. Every time I'm done working out, of course, I hit the shower after my cool down and my cool down corrective stretching and all that stuff. Hit the shower. I take my shorts in there with me. Sometimes my shirt, if I did wear a shirt. Usually I work out outside in my backyard or whatever. Without a shirt, I have my home gyms or whatever, and I don't wet a shirt with my sweat. But I'll take my shorts, my shirt, whatever, in the shower, and I have really good peppermint type hand soap, so it is safe for the skin. And what I do is I do like a little mini laundry session in the shower. The reason I do that is because I don't want to do gym laundry every day, because then what's the purpose of not doing your laundry except for every 2 weeks? That defeats the purpose. I also don't want to have 10 whole gym outfits sitting in there, stacking up, stinking like crazy. Can you imagine that? This is disgusting just to even think about it. So I basically wash them every day, and I stomp on them with my feet in the shower. Hopefully it's not TMI, but it works really, really well. Most of the time here in Central Texas, you can hang your clothes out outside, no dryer needed, and they will dry in a day, literally. So that's what I basically do. So that works really, really, really well. Tip number four, hang around with other people who are like you, specifically, particularly, especially single parents. Just hang around with them. I'm going to touch more on this tip in a little bit though. Tip number five, utilize a good calendar, guys. People who have seen my calendar have they can agree that it looks like a Tetris game. I've got like 4 different calendars built into one with color codes, and I have my daily meals on there so that I can make sure that I do eat my 4 to 6 meals a day. I have all my bills, I have my very important errands, my daily routine things and whatever, and it's all in there in that one calendar. And it's a really nice Google calendar. It synchronizes with my phone calendar, and if I ever lose one or the other, I'll have a backup or whatever. But utilize a good calendar, guys. And by the way, sometimes when you're making habits, you can't put them on your calendar. It will make your calendar more cluttered, but until you actually develop, once you develop the good habit, then you can take it off your calendar. So sometimes that's a good way to make habits, is a temporary daily routine on there. Um, Tip number 6. You're going to have to use your own judgment on this, and I would definitely recommend getting advice from others and especially older people that you trust, okay? Tip number 6, do not have too many things going on at once. And I'll just touch on this real quick because I want the video to be short. Basically, working out the right way and eating the right way, I will say this, and I don't mean this the wrong way, but it will become a part-time job to you. Now, by part-time job, what I mean is, it's going to take 10 to 20 hours of your week, your grocery shopping, your meal preparation, whatever. It's going to take that. That is a part-time job, guys, and it needs your attention. Otherwise, you are what you eat, right? It needs to be carefully done or whatever, as well as your exercise. Along with that, being a single parent, even if you're like me, I've been most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time I've been a non-custodial parent, which there have been times where, let's just say that places have made me feel pretty awful for being a non-custodial single parent. But that in of itself, being a single parent, being a parent, being a single parent, even being single, that in of itself can be a part-time job too. So already you've got 2 part-time jobs right there, let alone everything that life throws at you, let alone your bills, let alone the car needs this, or this came up, or you want to take a trip or whatever. So all that stuff. Speaking of which, tip number 7, make sure you incorporate your cheat meals every week. If you eat 4 times a day, you do 1 cheat meal. If you eat 5 times a day, you do 2 cheat meals, or 3. If you eat 6 times a day, you could do 3 or 4 cheat meals. You must do them, so that way your cravings for hamburgers, pizza, or whatever, ice cream, cakes, and whatever it is that chicken fried tamales, whatever. I've seen some crazy things where I'm just like, whoa, I hope they don't eat that often. But yeah, incorporate those so you don't drive yourself crazy. And along with incorporating those weekly, each week, and especially or at least each month, dedicate an allocated specific time of leisure time. It seems like most people either vacation too much or not enough. Busybodies. You need rest, you need your break, just don't take too much of it. So put it in there and make it work. Like I said, 1 day a week, half a day a week, whatever, you get that, and then you go back to work on the beginning of your week, Sunday or Monday or whatever, however that works for you. But incorporate it in there, guys. Don't starve yourself, don't suffocate yourself. Tip number 8. Here's where it's going to start getting a little deeper, okay? Do not hide all your challenges from other people. Don't be afraid to express them. We all have issues. We are all light brown. Even black people are dark brown, and white people are light brown. Okay, guys, we're the same color as trees for the same reason, right? Guys, we're all human. Okay, if your friends don't act like that, if they're not very graceful, find new friends, guys, because those are not really friends for you. But along with not hiding your challenges, guys, do not expect non-single, non-parents. In other words, don't expect people who aren't like you, don't expect them to understand, and don't get advice from them. People are extremely opinionated. Opinions can be true or false. In my experience, and in some ways I've had a lot of experience, most people don't even know what science really is. And it parallels and correlates with reality. Come back to reality land is what I say sometimes, right? But yeah, don't expect others who haven't gone through your exact issues, don't expect them to understand, regardless of what those issues are. Pregnancy, for crying out loud. I have my comments and opinions on it, but they're very limited. I've never been pregnant. Hopefully I never will be. But I mean, honestly, it might sound funny, but it's the absolute truth. Do not expect non-single, non-parents to understand, and don't listen to their advice, guys, even if it sounds good. Some of the worst, most harmful advice I've ever gotten in my entire life was from non-parents who thought they knew what they were talking about, and I found out later it was horrific. They should have kept their mouths shut. Number 9, get an exercise training program that's correct and continually changing with you. This is called periodization. It should follow you. The average adult should be exercising the actual exercise itself 5 times a week, 30 to 60 minutes a day. Men, it's going to be more around 60, maybe a little longer. Maybe you add your cool down, your swimming, your yoga, special stretches, or extracurricular activities or whatever. But in general, that's going to be that much. So if it's way more than that or way less than that, get with a personal trainer, a certified personal trainer. Get with a physical therapist. Get with somebody in sports medicine, someone who understands kinesiology, whatever. Get with them and talk to them and say, hey, is this too much, too little? right? Because your body can only recover so much, but it does need enough stimuli in order to make the changes happen and keep on happening. And you need to keep progressing with that. Like I said, the scientific, actual medical term is periodization. And it does need to continually change with your own changes. All right, number 10. Oh, and I'm not kidding. When I wrote this one down, per se, in my phone earlier, I actually came to tears for a while. Guys, single parents and parents as well too, but especially the single parents, thank yourself for raising a human being, for raising a child, because in my experience, chances are, hopefully your experience is different, but I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't. In my experience, if you don't thank yourself, no one ever will. Literally, it's pretty freaking sad when you think about it. But that's been my experience. People just don't think, how challenging is it to raise a child, especially as a single parent. Whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're non-custodial or custodial, it's crazy. It's extremely expensive. It takes all your time, your patience, and everything. So guys, thank yourself, and if you are a parent, thank you for raising a child. Okay. Hope to hear from you soon, guys. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you know how to get at me. Okay. Thank you for watching To Your Health, and until next time.